sober right now, but it's all good. Let's get it. Ready.
All right, what up? This is Cakes Mitchell, and we're doing the 25 questions with my man Phora.
Yo.
In DC, we just finished the show. Crazy time, good show. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
All right, so your name is Phora, your stage name. How did you come up with that? And what is the meaning behind that?
Yeah, man, it originally came from like graffiti, like doing graffiti, and I was just like messing with the letters, putting the letters together, and really it doesn't like really have like a dictionary meaning, but it really just came from like, you know, graffiti. Pretty simple, you know, not crazy like that.
Gotcha. Was there any names that you had before Phora?
Yeah. So I was infatuated with like the PH and the way the PH looked when I was doing graffiti, and it was gonna be fame with the PH. And then my homie told me like, yo man, that's whack, man. You can't be fame, like that's whack. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna come up with something like, you know, different, something that doesn't sound like anyone else has. So that's when I came up with, you know, playing with the letters, and I came up with Phora. It just sounded cool.
Gotcha. So you used to do graffiti a lot. Yeah. Do you still do graffiti or?
Nah, man. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you yes on camera.
All right. How did you and George meet? Because you guys have been making videos forever, it seems like.
Okay, so yeah, yo, George, shout out George Orozco, man, On Point Films. He was bugging the fuck out of me on Facebook, and he was like, let me do a video for you, let me do a video for you. And nah, I'm playing. It was kind of like that. He reached out on Facebook. He seen the music, you know, he liked the work, and we were talking for so long before we actually shot something.
Yeah.
And then I think we were talking for like almost a year or something like that before we shot something, because I was doing a lot of my own videos, and I had Desi shooting a lot of my stuff. And then after, you know, talking for like almost a year, we actually shot our first video, and I was like, yo, this is a dude, like that. And ever since then, like, he shot almost all my fucking videos. Yeah. That's how it started, yeah.
So in the song, you said, I won't say I'm affected by the change, or I won't say I'm affected by the fame, but even mama know I changed.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? And how exactly, like, when did you first realize you got some attention and that you realized that you started to get a buzz?
Yeah, so won't say I'm affected by the fame, but even my mama know I changed. So pretty much when I started noticing, like, you know, and that's a difficult question, but like pretty much when I started noticing things like, you know, people coming around and family around me changing, and me kind of like taking a step back from like people, and like, you know, kind of just distancing myself from everyone, and not even necessarily people that like wanted something or people that were like acting different. Like shit started like fucking me up mentally, where I started, you know, distancing myself from people who actually genuinely like cared about me and like loved me and shit, you know, like my mom and shit. And that's when she would like, you know, start calling me and talking to me and being like, yo, like, you know, you're distant, you're different, like what's going on and shit, you know. And I didn't like realize until I actually took a step back and looked like, yo, this shit is affecting me like all around, and sometimes I don't even notice it.
Right. Gotcha. So one thing my fiance wants to ask you is that you got a bunch of tattoos. Which one's your favorite? Which one's the most meaningful?
Going off that subject, the Forgive Me Mother. Definitely the Forgive Me Mother on my hand. Next to that, I would say the Stay True on my knuckles, man. It's on my hands. It's hard to miss, and you know, it just always reminds me, man, stay true. You know, stay humble, and just remain loyal to your people. And, you know, pretty simple, you know.
Gotcha. So what's something that a lot of people don't realize, or the worst thing about touring that you didn't realize until you started doing it?
Oh, well, right now there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things. I'd say like dealing with different people. Yeah. Dealing with different people, you know, to put it kind of like from a general standpoint. But you know, some people have bad days. Some people have horrible days, and like you know, whether it's fans, people at the venue, people that you don't even know, like certain people, like, you know, you gotta really be strong when you're on tour, and you gotta really like stay solid, especially for artists, you know, because artists have bad days, and especially artists that are doing meet and greets and performing and stuff like that, you know, like you gotta keep your composure, and you can't like flip out, especially like tours, like, you know, fans, people who are paying money to see you, paying money to, like, you know, actually be there, you know. So it's hard because, like, you know, all artists are still human, you know. Right. So the most difficult thing about tour, I would say, like in a nutshell, is just keeping your composure and not going crazy from dealing with all the people like around you know, traffic included.
Gotcha. Your new album's coming up.
Yes, sir.
How have you evolved on this album Oh, as an artist?
As an artist, man, I feel like, so I'm 22, about to be 23, and you know, I feel like every single album, every single project I've ever put out has its own answer toward, you know, to that. But for this album specifically, I definitely feel like, you know, I just experience different things. I feel like I experience different things when it comes to love, when it comes to family, when it comes to, you know, friendships. And I feel like life is just a journey. Later, man. Be safe. I feel like life is a journey, and with this album specifically, you know, I was going through a lot. Mostly, I was going through a lot of, you know, family stuff, and you know, my dad, and like talking to him, and like you know, when you hear the album, you kind of, you know, see what it means. But like, it was definitely like a lot of family things, you know, like reconnecting with family, even though like the past so many years, it hasn't been like, you know, the greatest. But evolving from like the past albums, it's difficult. It's difficult. But I would say just as a person, I just grew as a person. You know, I mean,
gotcha.
I don't know.
Last question, softball question. Yeah. Who you got in the fight?
Oh, okay, you're talking about the big fight, huh?
Mayweather, McGregor. Who you got?
Oh, it's so hard to answer that because there's both such like I know if I say Mayweather, like a bunch of people are gonna hate me, and I know if I say like McGregor, a bunch of people are gonna be like, ah, what the fuck? Because they're both such like hated but loved like people. Technically, who do I think is gonna win the boxing match? I'm gonna have to say Mayweather, just because, you know, just because like if I had to bet on Mayweather, like I know his like, you know, strategies and his techniques and like how he fights, like he's smart. I'm not saying he's the greatest boxer alive. I'm not saying he's like the, you know, he's the craziest, like, you know what I mean? But the man is smart. You gotta respect that he has a strategy and he has a skill, you know, he has a technique. I truly believe he has a skill, just because like a lot of people are saying like, oh, this and that, but like, you know, not too many people are doing what he's doing. You know what I mean? But I like Conor, man. Conor talks shit. He makes things, he's entertaining. Yeah. He's entertaining, and Mayweather's entertaining as well. So I think it's I'm enjoying like the pre-fight, like all the shit talking and everything. It's like a reality TV show, you know. I think they're friends behind the scenes, though. I think they're friends behind.
For sure.
They're making like 100 million, something like that. They're hanging out with each other behind the scenes and fucking drinking and just kicking it. But that's just me. But yeah, man. Yeah.
I appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, man.
You're the man. Good show.
Always, man. Thank you, brother.
Take it easy.